Hey babe, what's for dinner?
Well, we got the big family picnic coming. And this is always, again, was really requested things. We are doing our version of Ridgewood barbecue. And for those, Lord, if you live in, people that would subscribe to our channel, knows what Ridgewood barbecue is. It's in Bluff City, been there for longer than I've been alive. And they got this killer barbecue pork, and it ain't like nobody else's. And even though they do theirs different than what I'm doing today, I'm going to show you how we get really close, okay? So this is the night before the smoke. That's why I've done switched down to somewhat more comfortable attire. So what we're going to do, I'll get some mustard. These are pork tenderloins. This is one of the main differences. They use, I'm pretty sure they say they use hams. The pork tenderloin is a whole lot easier to work with. So, and we're going to rub it down with some mustard first.
Is that going to make it taste like mustard?
No, it does not taste like mustard at all. All this does is give the dry rub something to stick to so it don't run away and fall off and go on and do all kinds of crazy stuff. And today, I found this. This is, anybody watches YouTube videos about barbecue, you mightn't have heard of Malcolm Reed. This is his brand. His channel is How to Barbecue Right. I love watching this guy. He is fantastic. Really knows his in way around barbecue. Watch him a lot. Even though I've been doing barbecue for, I don't know, over 30 years, I still like to see what other people are doing. So anyway, we're going to give it a good coating every which way. And turn her over. And just don't be shy with the rub. Now, for those that haven't had Ridgewood's barbecue, they slice theirs really thin. So they don't pull it. Oops, that's the spot. They don't pull it and have it tore all to pieces. They just slice it really thin. And that's what we're going to do too. That's why we're using tenderloin. So this takes, it's easy to do, it's just time consuming. So what we're going to do is I'm going to let this sit overnight with the dry rub on. And then tomorrow we're going to smoke it for as long as it takes to get it right. But tomorrow's not the day we eat. It'll be the next day we eat, because then I'm going to let it sit in the refrigerator overnight and get really good and cold. That makes it really easy to slice. Get it real good and thin. And then the next day, when we're going to finish it off, and we'll just show you all this in the video. The other thing we're making, if you've seen our video on the Kansas City burn-ins that we did out of Chuck Roast, the poor man's, we got a pork version of this. And what we're going to show, these are all the same cuts of meat. All of this is pork tenderloin. But you can do a lot of stuff and get a lot of different flavors out of pork tenderloin, and that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to get this one in the pan, and then we'll get the other one, and then I'll start cutting on the other stuff and show y'all how that works. Okay, so we got these two guys. They're rubbed and ready to go in the refrigerator. Now, this one here is the same thing as those. It's just that at the store they'd already had them cut up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to slice off just little bits of this fat that nobody wants to eat, because it ain't going to be too good. And I'm going to come through and slice it like this into bite-sized cubes. And this is what's going to be, we're going to make our burn ends. Well, you know. So we're going to set these. And I got this whole stack to do. Now what we're going to do after that, we're going to marinate this where these guys are getting dry rubbed. What I've done, I've got me a marinade going, which I emptied out about 3 different types of barbecue sauce we had. I've added some vinegar to it to thin it down a little bit, and some brown sugar just to round out the flavor, and some of Malcolm's rub again, just to add that final face of the flavor that I'm looking for. But again, I'm just cut off this fat that nobody wants to eat and go from there. Okay, now we've got this other tenderloin, got all the excess fat cut off. Now I'm going to hit it with an extra layer of protection with some tenderizer. Just let that go. So nobody wants to bite into anything tough and nasty. Good whirl. Just a little bit more for anybody that got missed. Hang on. Get our marinade. Now, if y'all ain't had burnt ends, they're really good. Especially, I like these the best. I've had real ones in restaurants. I've done them out of beef. The beef ones are great if you got a chuck roast and can't think of anything else to do with a chuck roast. These pork ones were a big hit when I've done them before. Everybody seemed to like them, and we're gonna do them again. So again, this is the way we do barbecue. It's about a 2 or 3 day stage process. Sometimes even more when my dad does it. It's a whole extra day. We're eating Saturday. This is Thursday. Okay, Thursday night. We're getting all the meat ready. It's going to sit all night. Then we're going to smoke it Friday. Take it off the heat when it's done. Wrap it up. Get it chilled, and then that'll make it good for easy slicing on this. And then Saturday morning, before the big event, we'll go outside and get everything going again. We'll show you what Ridgewood does that makes this work special that really nobody else has done. It's no big secret. You can sit in a restaurant and you can see what they're doing. So it's really good. They just, after they've sliced it, then they throw it on their griddle and then hit it with sauce. Well, we're going to do that too. We're going to be using, because I want y'all to be able to make this at home. We're just going to use Sweet Baby Ray's because everybody eats Sweet Baby Ray's. We have our own recipe that is very close to what they have at Ridgewood, and we've been making that for 30 years nearly. Mm-hmm. And we got variations on that. But for this particular one, we're going to be doing it this way. Maybe, now Deanne's the one that does the Ridgewood barbecue style sauce. We might be able to get her to do a video on that in the future, maybe around the next holiday, 4th of July or something, if she feels like it. And if we can find ribs or something, that would be good just to have on it. But anyway, we're getting ready to wrap these, stick them in the fridge, and we'll see y'all in the morning. Well, hey everybody. Well, I'm running the camera by myself today because Deanne's at work. She ain't got home yet, but I've got to get stuff done for the big cookout and barbecue we're having this weekend. So anyway, I've got the pork on the smoker. It's been on there, maybe about 10 minutes or so. And now we're going to start working on the beans. Let me tell you what we've done so far. What I've done so far. I've got a can of these. Okay, Bush's maple and cured bacon. And then a can of Bush's home style. And I've got them draining in a colander because I'm not all that impressed with the flavor of those beans. They're okay. They just taste like pork and beans. And I could have just bought pork and beans. But I got them draining out, and I'm going to replace that flavor with other stuff I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and empty these into my pan. Now the ones I do like, get my spoon, spread them out. Now this is the Bush's Steakhouse recipe. Now I did keep the stuff out of this because I absolutely love it. So we're gonna mix these all together and then add our other stuff to it. And then stick them out in the smoker here in a few minutes. Another big can. Got a bunch of people coming, need a bunch of beans. That way later in the evening, when you need to get rid of everybody, they've already had the beans and, they're ready to leave. Hopefully. Or maybe you can make them ready to leave. Okay. So we'll give these a stir just to get them sort of incorporated. Now, into this, I've got one medium green bell pepper. Yeah, I finally used a green one, not a red one or a yellow one. And one medium-sized Vidalia onion because, I like onions. Mix that in. Mix that in. And if I sound hot and sweaty, I just got back from the gym working out. I did Dawn Mullins' class. Now, I'm telling you, y'all go to YouTube, look up Dawn Mullins, redheaded lady, does fantastic workouts. You can do workouts in your own living room and stuff, and nobody will laugh at you but yourself and maybe your dog or your cat. But I love working out over in her classes. It's a good killer workout. I think today I burned like 450 calories in about 40 minutes. So, y'all, yeah, if you need to work out some, look her up, Dawn Mullins on YouTube. I know she watches these too, so shout out to her. And if y'all have seen my dancing videos with the grandkids and stuff, well, the one we've done so far, that's her moves that I used. So anyway, back to the beans. I'm gonna throw in about a good 2 tablespoons of jalapenos. And I ain't gonna call them jalapenos because I'm a hick and, you know, Tennesseans say jalapeno because that's what we do. Mix that in really good. Guess I can get my cutting board out of the way now. I miss my cameraman being here because she gets the angles right. Not having to lean and stoop so you can see me. Maybe you don't need to see me. I don't know. It's a good mix. Now into that, squirt on a good drizzle of mustard or 2. And again, simply because it's what we had. It's what everybody's going to use anyway. Sweet Baby Ray's original. You're going to make you some good beans. Squirt that in there really good. Yeah, I got it on this handle of the spoon. Nobody cares. Unless you do care, then you got more, you need something else to worry about. And some good old brown sugar. Again, I like dark brown sugar. It's got more molasses in it. I'm gonna break that up really good. Wash my hands real quick. Give all that a good stirring up. Now these beans will make you really happy. At least ways they're gonna make all our people really happy because most of my crew really likes baked beans, and this is my take on it. So that's a couple of good stirs. And we're gonna take these out, stick them in the smoker with the meat and everything. And I'm gonna try to do this whole selfie thing, so if the camera gets wonky and jiggly, well, you know, I'm not the cameraman, Deanne is. Camera, person, woman, I don't know, she doesn't care. Ooh, the sun is bright today. Yay, sun shining. Okay. And you can see where I got the meat going. Here's over here. That's gonna be our tenderloins. That's what we're gonna use to turn into Ridgewood style barbecue, my version. And I got the cubes braising over here, and that's gonna make our burn-ins, which we'll finish those off tomorrow. But get them going good today. Stick the beans in. Get some good smoke flavor on all that. And temperature, I got it set for 275. It dropped somewhat when I lifted the lid. And the pellets I'm using today, I'm using up the last of my oak, and I've added hickory, so it's gonna be a blend of oak and hickory. Still got a good amount in the hopper. I'll check back every once in a while. The beans, I don't know the beans. I'll just check them back and see. You don't want to get them too done because they will get mushy because they're already cooked anyway. You just really want to cook the onions and get the flavors melted through. Pull them back in and let them sit a while. We're going to reheat everything tomorrow. The beans is better the second day anyway. The pork. Normally on barbecue, got to shut that door because the glare is terrible. Like I need anything else that make me any more pale than I am. Normally, like the normal stuff we do, like brisket and all of that, you got to get brisket to 200 degrees or it just ain't gonna work right, because it's tougher and whiz till it's 200, and then all that stuff sort of starts melting down and breaking apart, and that's when brisket gets really tender. Tenderloin ain't got no fat in it. It ain't got no anything connective tissue or anything. It's just tenderloin. So we're gonna get that to about 160, 165 and pull it, and then just let it sit and rest and calm down, and then refrigerate it overnight. And then we will slice it really paper thin tomorrow to make this Ridgewood stuff. Then we'll throw it on the griddle and hit it with the sauce and everything, and then we'll go down to Greene County where my mommy and my daddy live, because that's where we're all gathering at tomorrow, and we just want to have a big old family shindig, and everybody's going to have the best fun they can. And we'll check back in when everything keeps going. See y'all. Okay, everybody, it's been about an hour and a half or so, and I would have done this probably 30 minutes ago, but it come up big time gully washing rain. So now I'm gonna come out and check everything. As you can see, beans are looking scrumdiddlyumptious. There, Willy Wonka said something stupid. And that's coming along. And here's our pork. And what I'm gonna do, this is where we spritz with apple juice. I can't find my spritzer, so I got a brush and apple juice this way, so this is what we're going to do. Keep it good and moist. Just keep mopping and mopping it. Can't let your hog dry out, it's just nasty. This guy back here really good. Again, there's the beans and everything. They're bubbling along, looking fantastic. It won't be long now before the beans are done. Of course, the meat's got a ways to go. And this stuff back here, it doesn't look like much yet, but it will probably, I'm anticipating, be the star of the show once it's all said and done. And again, Ridgewood barbecue, my take on it over here. And just keep brushing apple juice on. Keep everything nice and moist. Okay, lid back down. Check our hopper. Okay, still got plenty of pellets. Shake them down a little bit. We're doing pretty good. I'll check back in here in a little bit and just see what else we're needing. So here we go. Okay, so this is Saturday morning, the day of the eating. So this is our pork bites that I smoked yesterday, and they were slow smoked. They are done, except they're not finished. So now we're gonna hit them with some pepper, a little bit more of the rub, and then a crap ton of brown sugar. That's an official measurement, crap ton. Okay, get that really good. More, now this really gotta get this good. Let's see, metal spoon, yeah. We're outside, we can use metal utensils. Start this off really good. Get everything combined really well. And we're gonna be cooking some smoked sausage today too. And what we're gonna do, essentially, we're just finishing these off. We're gonna get the everything good and hot, and we're gonna let the sauce crisp up around the bites and just give them that really good barbecue-y, crunchy, wonderful flame flavor. So, and here we go. Okay, throw some smoked sausage on. These are all beef, Hillshire Farm, I guess, kielbasa. Get them going first, let them cook a little bit. Then we're gonna hit them with some sauce. I'll brush that on, forgot to bring the sauce out. You and I are still barking from this allergy stuff we've had. I think I've about had enough allergy season.
Yes.
I do not recommend allergy season to anybody, especially if you've had a problem with it. So. Got a little ring around the rosy. Very happy little brush that on. Let these smoke a little bit. Yeah, I've just turned them after the first flipping. Get the sauce on the other side. The wonderful thing about these things, they're easy. Anybody can do this. Not very imaginative, but they're easy and everybody likes them. Looks good, don't it?
Yep.
Can't wait. They're already starting to bust and rupture. So that heat is getting good on them. Come along good. Change direction a little bit. So this guy's off the direct heat. Oops. Stubborn. Moving back on direct heat, I guess. I don't know. Smoked sausage. It's not like this is rocket science. That's looking really good. It's got a little more heat for him. Yeah. Come on. Close enough. Now we'll move on to set this over here. Cover them up. We'll slice those guys later. Now, a happy pan. Put it away. We'll keep it a happy pan. Put our pork bites in. Let them brown off and crisp up really good. I'm not going to overfill this pan. It's getting pretty close. Yeah, it's about half. Now because of this, I can't close the lid all the way. It up on high. Okay. Keep stirring. Yesterday we put just regular smoked flavor into it. Now we're trying to get that char grilled flavor on the outside. Then it's all smoked really good all the way through, but it's not overcooked and then dry and yucky. Still other ways to go. Okay, so we have relocated now to Mom and Dad's house. So, and here's our pork loins, and we're going to run them through the meat slicer over here, but to get them into the slicer good, we're going to go ahead and cut them down into manageable, workable pieces. So, start with this. There's about 3, so that should load into the slicer pretty good. If you don't have a meat slicer, you can slice this stuff. As long as you got a good sharp knife, you can get real thin, but I'm not going to put that much work into this today. We got a meat slicer, we using it. And so we're going to be going real thin as we can. If you want this chip as if you want it like Ridgewood, they get theirs really paper thin. And that's what we're looking for. Okay, so now we've done all the slicing, and I took some of the drippings and I'm getting them in the pan just to add extra flavor. And I got the first plate of meat that we're going to add. Now they do theirs on a big griddle. If you got a Blackstone, that would be preferable here. And yeah, we got one. It's just we didn't want to fool with it today because we're tired. Been cooking a lot the last 2 or 3 days, so we're going to get that going. Don't overdo your pan. And what I've got here, I've got what was left of a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's, but we've watered it down some and made it thin, that we're going to, blend all this in to get it good and moist and flavorful. Except that bite don't go. That one come in from the slicer on the back side. I'll turn it back on high. I figured how Mom's stove works. Okay, there comes our delicious sizzle. Barbecue sauce. And again, they got their own special recipe. Of course, most restaurants do. We got a knockoff recipe that's pretty close and pretty good. We really like it. But since most of y'all don't have access to that, everybody has access to Sweet Baby Ray's. Just use this. Now once this is cooked through and everything, and we find a place to put it, then when you're putting it on your sandwich or your plate or however you want to eat it, that's when you can add extra sauce if you want to, the better, thicker stuff, or just whatever your favorite sauce is. This is going to get you really close to that Ridgewood flavor. And offloading the first batch. And this is definitely not your normal pit smoked pull style shop or whatever barbecue. And we're making it like Ridgewood, best we can. And the flavor, we've been doing this one, I think this is the first barbecue sauce or barbecue recipe rather than I worked on. We've been doing this one well over 30 years, so it's almost, other than the work involved, kind of like second nature and kind of almost boring at times. So, next batch, get that going. And get their watered down sauce. Of course, this adds more moisture back into the meat because pork tenderloin, again, has a little fat in it, so it's a little bit healthier for you, but it can dry out if you're not real careful. All right, Dan, I think we're done with the last batch of this. So it's done, and we'll stick it in the oven to keep it warm till it's time to eat, and then we'll go. Yeah.
The skillet's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Especially full.
Especially, well, not so full now, but yeah. And it won't be long before we're ready to eat. Sliced pork and our barbecue bites. Here is our baked beans, our smoked sausage, our coleslaw, and macaroni salad instead of tater salad this year, and garlic bread's in the oven. We're getting ready to eat. Everybody ready, you think?
I believe so.
All right, let's hog out and pig out and everything else out.
Yeah, let's eat.
All right. And homemade banana pudding.
What do you call that? I